As we grow older, life teaches us one important lesson. Not every battle is worth fighting. Sometimes the smartest move you can make is to let things slide, to play dumb. Now, don't get me wrong. Playing dumb doesn't mean being weak or naive. It's about choosing peace over unnecessary conflict, preserving your energy, and focusing on what truly matters. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 specific situations in old age where playing dumb can actually be your biggest strength. These aren't just random ideas, they're based on timeless wisdom and the principles of Stoic philosophy. You'll learn how to protect your relationships, avoid unnecessary stress, and live a more peaceful, fulfilled life. For example, imagine someone starts arguing with you, pushing your buttons over something small and meaningless. Instead of arguing back, what if you just smiled and let them have the last word? It's not about losing the argument. It's about winning your peace. So, whether you're dealing with family drama, nosy neighbors, or even manipulative people, this video is for you. Stick around, because by the end, you'll have a new perspective on how to handle life's tricky situations with grace and wisdom. Before we dive in, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more life-changing insights. Now, let's get started with the first situation where playing dumb is the smartest move you can make. Number 1. When someone seeks conflict. Let's start with something we've all faced at one point or another: conflict. Imagine this: you're at a family gathering. It's supposed to be a time of joy and togetherness, but then someone makes a snarky comment. Maybe they bring up an old grudge or criticize something you did years ago. Their tone is sharp, and it's clear they're looking for an argument. Now, what do most people do in this situation? They react. They jump in to defend themselves, justify their actions, or even escalate the argument. But let's pause for a second and think. Does fighting back really solve anything? In most cases, it doesn't. All it does is create tension and leave everyone feeling worse. Here's where the idea of playing dumb comes in. Instead of firing back or trying to prove your point, take a deep breath and respond with calmness, or don't respond at all. You can simply smile, nod, or even say something neutral like, "You might be right about that." This approach doesn't mean you're weak or incapable of defending yourself. It means you're wise enough to recognize when a battle isn't worth your peace of mind. Let me tell you why this works so well. First, it completely disarms the other person. They came in ready to argue, expecting you to engage, but when you don't, it throws them off. They might even feel a little embarrassed for trying to provoke you in the first place. Second, it keeps you in control. Think about it. If someone can make you angry or upset, they're the ones controlling the situation. But when you choose to stay calm and not engage, you're showing them that your emotions aren't so easily manipulated. This approach aligns perfectly with Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. By not letting someone's words or actions dictate your mood, you're living out this wisdom. And here's a little secret. When you choose to play dumb, you often win without even trying. The person seeking conflict eventually gets tired of arguing with someone who refuses to argue back. They'll either drop the issue or move on to someone else. Either way, you've protected your peace. Now, you might be thinking, but isn't it important to stand up for myself? And the answer is yes, when it truly matters. But not every situation is worth the fight. In fact, most arguments, especially petty ones, only drain your energy and create unnecessary stress. So, the next time someone comes at you with an attitude, remember this: you don't have to take the bait. Playing dumb doesn't make you weak. It makes you smart. Choose peace over pride, and you'll find that your life becomes a lot calmer and more enjoyable. Stay tuned, because in the next part, we'll talk about another situation where playing dumb can save you from unnecessary drama. When people ask you to take sides. Number 2. When asked to take sides. Have you ever been caught in the middle of someone else's drama? Maybe it's 2 family members arguing or a couple of friends who don't see eye to eye. Suddenly, they turn to you and ask, "Whose side are you on?" This is one of those tricky situations where it's best to play dumb. Let me explain why. When you take sides, you're not just agreeing with one person, you're also risking your relationship with the other. Even if you feel strongly about the issue, stepping into their conflict can make things worse. In many cases, the people involved aren't looking for solutions. They just want validation. And if you pick a side, you might end up being blamed later when things settle down. For example, imagine two siblings arguing about money. Something we've all seen at least once. They're angry and emotional, and they come to you for your opinion. You might think, if I don't say something, they'll think I don't care. But here's the truth. No matter what you say, it's likely to backfire. One sibling might feel betrayed, and the other might think you're meddling. It's a no-win situation. So what do you do instead? You play dumb. You stay neutral. Say something like, I don't think I know enough to weigh in on this, or, it sounds like something you two should work out together. These phrases do two things. First, they take the pressure off you. Second, they gently remind the other person that this is their problem to solve, not yours. Now, you might be wondering, doesn't that make me seem uncaring? Not at all. Staying neutral shows you value peace and relationships over taking sides. It also protects you from being dragged into unnecessary stress. Remember, just because someone invites you into their drama doesn't mean you have to accept the invitation. The key is to stay calm and avoid giving too much of your opinion. People who are upset often misinterpret even the most innocent comment. Something as simple as "I see your point" can make one person think you're fully on their side. By playing dumb, you avoid adding fuel to the fire. This approach is especially important as we get older. Life teaches us that not every argument is worth our time or energy. Taking sides in someone else's conflict can drain you emotionally, and it rarely ends well. As the old saying goes, when elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. Don't be the grass. Step aside and let others sort out their issues. Next time someone tries to pull you into their argument, remember this: neutrality is not weakness, it's wisdom. You're choosing to protect your peace and let others handle their own problems. So, do you really need to take a side? Or can you simply step back and let it go? Think about it. In most cases, playing dumb is the smartest choice. Number 3. When people test your knowledge to compete. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone tries to show off their knowledge or achievements? Maybe they ask you a question like, "Oh, you don't know about this?" Or they bring up something just to make themselves look smarter. This is a common situation, especially in social settings or even with family. In moments like these, it's tempting to prove yourself. You might want to remind them of your experience, your knowledge, or the things you've achieved. But here's the truth. Engaging in this competition rarely leads to anything good. It just creates tension and drains your energy. Instead, the wiser approach is to play dumb. Yes, you heard me right, play dumb. Smile and say something like, "Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of it that way." Or even better, ask them a question. "Really? Tell me more about it." This does two things. First, it gives them the spotlight they're clearly craving. Second, it shows that you're confident enough not to compete. Now, why does this work? Because it removes the power struggle. People who try to test you are often seeking validation for themselves. By not reacting, you let them feel like they've won, but in reality, you've maintained your peace and avoided unnecessary stress. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're at a dinner party, and someone says, "I just read this new book on history." Have you read it? You haven't. Instead of feeling embarrassed or defensive, just say, "No, I haven't. What's it about?" This simple response shifts the focus back to them, and they'll happily explain while you stay calm and composed. It's important to remember that your worth doesn't depend on proving yourself to anyone. In fact, the more you try to prove yourself, the more it looks like you need validation. But when you let others take the stage, it shows you're secure in who you are. You're not competing because you don't have to. This approach aligns perfectly with Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, often reminded himself not to be distracted by the opinions of others. He believed that true strength comes from within, not from external approval. Here's another reason to play dumb in these situations. It saves you from unnecessary arguments. Some people just want to challenge you, not to learn or grow, but to see if they can win. By stepping back, you're showing that you're above such petty games. So the next time someone tests your knowledge or tries to compete with you, remember this. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Smile, let them talk, and move on with your life. You'll find that this simple tactic keeps your mind clear, your heart at peace, and your energy focused on what truly matters. Would you rather win an argument or keep your inner calm? For a Stoic, the answer is always peace. Number 4. When dealing with manipulative behavior. Imagine you're in a situation where someone subtly pressures you, trying to get you to do something you don't want to do. Could be a family member asking for money, a friend pushing you into making a decision you're not comfortable with, or even someone guilt-tripping you into saying or doing something that doesn't feel right. In these moments, the best response isn't always to fight back or argue. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is play dumb. Let me explain. When someone tries to manipulate you, they're often using guilt or emotional pressure to get their way. They want you to feel obligated to say yes, to agree with them, or to act in a way that benefits them. But here's the thing. By pretending not to understand their manipulative tactics, you take away their power. Instead of confronting them directly or giving in to their demands, you let them believe their words have no effect on you. For example, if a family member asks you for a loan you can't afford or doesn't feel right, you might feel guilty saying no. But instead of offering excuses or explanations, just smile and say, "I'm not sure I can help with that." Play dumb about the reasons, about how their request makes you feel, and simply stick with that response. It's not about lying. It's about not engaging in the emotional game they're trying to play. Another example. Let's say someone invites you to an event, and you know deep down that it's something you really don't want to do. Instead of going into a long explanation about why you can't attend, you can simply say, "I'm not sure if I can make it, I'll have to check." No pressure, no guilt, just a simple response that puts the ball back in their court. Why is this approach so effective? Because manipulative people thrive on emotional reactions. They want you to get defensive, angry, or guilty. They want you to engage, to argue, and to justify your decisions. But by playing dumb, you show them that their tactics don't have the desired effect. You refuse to be drawn into their drama. In Stoic philosophy, we're taught to control our emotions and reactions, rather than letting others dictate how we feel. As Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When we let others manipulate us, we allow our minds to spiral into stress, worry, and even anger. But by playing dumb and not reacting, we protect our inner peace. You don't need to fight fire with fire. Instead, by keeping calm, neutral, and unaffected, you stay in control of the situation. The more you practice this, the less power manipulative behavior has over you. It's a peaceful, effective strategy that brings you the freedom to live life on your terms, without being constantly pulled in different directions by others' demands. So, the next time someone tries to manipulate you, remember this simple yet powerful tactic. Play dumb. Don't give them the emotional reaction they're hoping for. You don't need to explain yourself or justify your decisions. By staying calm and unbothered, you not only protect your peace, but also show the manipulator that you're no longer an easy target. Remember, in old age, wisdom isn't just about knowing what's best. It's about knowing when to say nothing and let others figure things out on their own. Number 5. When people pry into your personal life. In old age, one thing you'll likely notice is that people feel more comfortable asking personal questions. Sometimes it's harmless curiosity, but other times it's an invasion of your privacy. They may ask questions like, "How much money do you make?" Or, "Why aren't you getting out more?" These questions can feel like an uncomfortable spotlight. So, what's the best way to handle this? The Stoic answer is simple: play dumb. Now, playing dumb doesn't mean being dishonest or pretending to be clueless. It's about deflecting without creating conflict. When someone pries into your personal life, instead of giving them the answers they're looking for, just shrug it off with a vague response. For example, if someone asks about your finances, you might say, "Oh, I don't really think about those things much anymore." If they ask about your health or why you're not going out as much, a response like, "I'm just taking it easy these days," works just fine. By giving vague or non-committal answers, you maintain your privacy without causing any drama. People often expect older individuals to be more open about their lives, but this is one situation where setting boundaries is not only okay, it's necessary. You see, when you don't offer up detailed answers, you create a subtle shield around yourself. You don't have to explain every little thing to anyone, and you definitely don't owe anyone an explanation for your choices. In Stoic philosophy, we learn that the things we have control over are our own actions and responses, not other people's expectations. The beauty of playing dumb in this situation is that you don't let other people's curiosity push you into a place where you feel uncomfortable or obligated. Remember, it's not about being rude. It's about protecting your peace and maintaining control over your own life. As we get older, our time and energy become even more precious. So, why waste it discussing things that don't matter or feeding into unnecessary conversations? Instead, by staying calm and deflecting prying questions, you protect the energy that's yours to control. If they want more information, let them ask someone else. It's not your job to satisfy their curiosity. Think about it. If you're being pressured to explain your choices or defend your lifestyle, it's easy to get caught in a cycle of justifying yourself. But why should you have to? People who truly respect you won't push you into uncomfortable conversations. They'll understand that everyone deserves their privacy and boundaries, especially as we age. So, the next time someone pries into your personal life, remember that playing dumb is a tool you can use to maintain peace. Smile, shrug, and move the conversation forward. By doing this, you're teaching others how to treat you. And as you grow older, one of the most powerful skills you can have is the ability to protect your personal space, mentally and emotionally. In conclusion, playing dumb in these situations isn't about being deceitful. It's about respecting your own boundaries and protecting your mental and emotional well-being. It's about understanding that some things don't need to be explained to anyone. You've earned the right to your privacy, and you deserve to enjoy your life without unnecessary interference. So, embrace the power of playing dumb and live the life that brings you peace. As we wrap up today's video, remember that sometimes the smartest move isn't to react or engage, but to let things pass by. Playing dumb in the right situations doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. It helps you avoid unnecessary stress, keeps your relationships intact, and allows you to focus on what truly matters. Life isn't about always being right or proving a point. It's about choosing peace, protecting your energy, and living with intention. By using the strategies we discussed today, you'll find yourself more in control of your emotions and your relationships, no matter your age. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might benefit from it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more wisdom that can transform your life. Drop your thoughts or experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear how you apply these strategies in your own life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.